So, Kimi K3, I've tried it out. As you probably know by now, this is a new open source model released last week, and it's making a lot of noise in the language model space. It's a 2.8 trillion parameter model. Yeah, it's quite large, and it's become one of the top open source language models out there. Well, not just language, it's multimodal. You can feed it images, even video as input. And it's doing pretty well at front-end coding too. Web design, UI design, that kind of thing. I've seen it, and it's proven this AI model handles front-end and graphical stuff really well. There are examples in their blog post where they use only this AI model to create 3D graphical game lookalike videos. I tried it myself, just a simple text prompt, and it created a drone simulation kind of web page, all running locally, no installer to download, just one HTML file, and you have this fun thing to play around with and test how the graphics look. So I played around with it, and it looks pretty promising. They have benchmarks plus the cost of running it. So why am I mentioning this? Well, on this channel, I mostly cover open source models, and I haven't talked about language models that often. But this is a big change. Open source isn't behind the proprietary AI models anymore. It's catching up. Some of the benchmarks and real-world test performance are equal to closed source models, especially Kimi, and recently Qwen 3.8 as well. Last weekend, I tested both of these AI models. Qwen 3.8 is also a 2.4 trillion parameter model, a really big one. It's on Qwen.ai right now. That's where I tested it. Alibaba might release the open weights for this model as well. We'll see how we can use like front-end coding and how we can use something like Blender, which I tried here, creating Blender gray color block viewport videos for camera motions and how the final videos look. I also mixed and matched it with ComfyUI, and one of the LoRAs that looks promising is the 3D real LoRA model. We're going to use the language model in the agentic way to create in Blender. Because I'm not a 3D artist, but I'm still able to use AI to create these video scenes, let's test if it's worth it, for fun, or maybe for your videos or animations. So, we create something like that using Kimi K3, and of course one of my favorite local AI agents recently, the Hermes AI agent plus ComfyUI as one whole pipeline. So first thing, turn on your AI agent. For me, I'm using Hermes. You can use OpenClaw, Codex, Claude Code, whatever you prefer. The first thing you need is the Blender MCP skill and the Blender add-on from the GitHub repo. All I need to do is copy this line, Hermes MCP install Blender, and paste it in here. Notice I'm running K3 in my Hermes agent, testing how it performs at front-end design, UI design, and 3D graphics as well. I've tested it in my web development, some web apps, doing UI enhancement, and it works. Meanwhile, as you can see from the progress loading, I'm capturing the Hermes agent installing the Blender MCP right now. And sometimes it does make mistakes with the Hermes MCP install command. AI gets things wrong, so it will ask you which choice you want to go for. Let's say I want to use this tool from the MCP for tool calling. Remember, you have to download Blender first. In this case, download Blender before you start the MCP server. For Blender here, notice I have the Blender MCP installed. That's how when you're in the viewport here, you press N and this Blender MCP panel pops up, the one I'm highlighting. Just click Connect and your MCP server is connected. Of course, after that, you'll have the option to disconnect from the MCP server, but don't click disconnect yet, just leave it on. It runs as a backend for creating the 3D graphics. I created this demo just to test if it can connect to my local Blender software through the Blender MCP. The Hermes agent was able to create the ball and those 4 or 5 square things. As you can see, the Blender MCP connected the two, the tool calls from the Hermes agent connected. And it also helps save skill improvements and memory improvements. I've also built my own self-learning framework, so I'll be using that as well, saving to my database. For Qwen 3.8, I tried using it to create a landscape view of this image. Basically, I'm going to reference something like this that I want to create, but I want to add camera motions, animations as well. So I'll pass this image to Hermes, since Kimi K3 can do vision and is able to see what my image is. I'm going to put that into the next task. It's going to make a 3D model, a viewport based on this image. So I'm typing in the text prompts here, linking up the folder paths, and waiting for it to run. After confirming the folder paths, the file path where it's going to save, I have a dedicated folder for this agent to save files into. Now you see the viewport change. It's not those simple squares and circles anymore. It's creating a mountain as the background and starting to build something with it. And as you can see, I haven't touched any button or control in Blender. I just let it run. It has a planner in Hermes, so let's bring that up. On the same screen, you can see the Hermes agent running, doing those elements, how the world and sky view look, making the mountains, shaping them. Now it's generating the 3D elements in the scene. As you can see, we're on step 5, creating some trees and other elements. Let's wait for this process to finish. It took a while. Not too long, about half an hour for this one. Every step it reviews itself, checking if it's correct or not, whether Kimi K3 needs to think and do some editing again afterwards. After that, I did some editing myself as well, telling Kimi K3 to modify some of the viewport, make it more reasonable, because some elements were placed in the wrong spots. Well, not manually, in an agentic way, human in the loop, review it and make it better. Okay, so we have the basic structure of the mountain view. I added a little road here where we can maybe put a train, one of those very old-style trains running along this road. Basically, I haven't used Blender before. I'm not a 3D artist using these kinds of 3D tools. This is all running by the AI agent itself, creating the 3D elements, adding to the 3D scene, all in these steps. All of this captured from my reference image, replicating those elements into the scene. You can also ask the AI agent to create a camera movement for you, since Blender, as far as I know, has camera movement that lets you do camera motions. Okay, so after this creation, I also told the AI to do a little editing, because first of all, right here we're seeing the camera motions, but there's a little problem with the train. It's right on the water. That's not the correct way of placing the train, on the lake water. So I'm fixing this by capturing a screenshot and telling the AI to modify it. And here I have a better result after modification. The train is right here on the road. Then we can use this to create our camera motions, see how it actually looks in the AI video. Now, I've seen a lot of demos using Blender MCP or Claude Code to control Blender. That's not a new thing. But here's what is interesting. We can run everything locally, Blender and also LTX 2.3. There's a LoRA model for it called 3D Render to Photoreal. This IC-LoRA can do video to video based on any 3D rendered block like this and turn it into something like these examples, a video like the one you're seeing above. So I took this concept into today's demo, using the one I just created with Kimi K3 and the Blender MCP, that 3D animation. Then we bring it into ComfyUI, using that animation as the source video controlling the motions. To do that, we don't need Blender to fill in the colors. Instead, we just need those gray color blocks, like the examples from that LoRA model. So I asked the AI agent to do that. Take out the colors, remove them, just a single gray clay for those 3D blocks, matching what the LoRA model needs. Now, as you can see, it's working on generating the MP4 file that will be used as the reference video, and that includes the camera motions I mentioned, like the one it generated before. So we'll have these camera motions, but we won't use the colors that were generated in Blender. We just use the 3D blocks as our objects to identify what those objects are. After modifying that, we'll use this LoRA model. The updated version is version 2, so I'm going to use 3D Real Strong V2. In the workflow folder, you can play with the example workflow. I've loaded this workflow already, and now it's just waiting for the video. Finally, we have another camera motion for this video, where you have this scene, the train, and a follow-up shot of how this 5-second video looks. We're going to capture the first frame here, which we'll use for our ControlNet depth map, running with Krea 2. In Krea 2, that means loading one of the workflows we talked about previously, using Krea 2 with the ControlNet depth map, running image generation as the first frame reference. We're going to use this one as the first frame. Easiest way to do that? Copy it to the clipboard and go to this workflow here. It's the easiest way to start without complicating yourself creating another workflow or whatnot. Just use whatever already exists and try it. The next thing is selecting the video. I have it in the output folder from the Hermes agent. Here we go. This video shot from the Hermes agent. This is what we've been working on, using the AI agent to create this 3D scene in Blender MCP. So we work on it like this, and basically do your text prompts here. One tricky thing if you're using this LoRa model, it uses a trigger keyword, and you keep that first text prompt line. The rest of it you can modify yourself, whatever you want to do. So here's the video generated, and you see the whole thing looks like this. We've got the 3D clay gray style blocks. Very simple graphics, no color at all. And in here we've got the generated video in 1080p, and all the coloration follows our first frame. There are a lot of ways you can play with this. Just because I used a landscape view doesn't mean it's only for landscapes. You can use it for human characters if you want. This is just a demonstration. Using 3D as the source input for the agent doesn't restrict you to landscape views or whatever. You can create a robot walking, a character walking, it's all up to you, whatever creativity you have. And for generating the keyframe image and using that video-to-video workflow in ComfyUI, you can also use the ComfyUI MCP. I talked about this a few months ago on the channel. The ComfyUI MCP, here's the thumbnail, you can take a look. You can run the whole thing locally on your PC. Well, yes, I know ComfyUI officially released an MCP surface, but that was for ComfyUI Cloud. Some people are concerned about data sovereignty and want to run locally, and this is an alternative way to do that. So yeah, you can package this workflow as API JSON format, choose export in the file menu, export as API, and go through my previous ComfyUI MCP video for how to set it up, and you're good to go. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!